Greetings, it is I, Sonic Emerald, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Type 0, third playthrough. This may be the only second video of my third playthrough because I wanted to go over a few things. Here's the problem. I went after the 43 crystals that are in the game, the sea crystals. And the problem is that it takes a lot, and I do mean a lot of videos just to get that. Well, part of it is, trying to find the areas, and I'm out of Chocobos now, so I just went through all this, and it's hard to find some of these areas. Some of them are tasks that you got to do to get the Lassie crystals, and then the rest of them are in optional dungeons, if not on the map. And some can take a while than others. And I'm only recording off the PS4, which is only 60 minutes. I don't have a software program to where I can make my videos longer than they're supposed to be. So that makes it hard for me to do anything. So I'll tell you something. What's rough is the Valley of the Monsters. You got to be on level 93, and right off the bat, before you go into the Valley of Monsters, there's these Behemoth Kings. Oh gosh, avoid them at all cost. It's like as soon as I get in there, I'm like I'm fighting a Malboro. I defeated it. I defeated a Malboro and a Great Malboro. The Great Malboro's on 94. The regular one is on 93. Pretty big Malboros. I'll tell you something, like in every game, they make them bigger and bigger. But best way to take care of Malboros is do long range attacks, especially if you got King or Ace or Cater or Trey. If you ever want to use any of those characters, stay far away from when you're shooting a Malboro. Don't ever do close attacks because they do that bad breath crap, and they can do just about any type of status effect on you. Even if you got ribbons on, it wouldn't have mattered if they put the stat effect on you. The bad breath could also take damage too, so it takes about 15-20 minutes to kill one Malboro, and I use King. I'm on level 88, and I'm just 5-6 levels below that Malboro, and it still took 15-20 minutes. So that's why some of these videos, it could take up to 20 more videos, and I really don't want to spend the time making so many videos. So how about if I make a short video of showing you what I got, what are the locations of these crystals. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I didn't get all 43 yet. I've got 38 of them at this point. I could have had 42 of 43 if I knew what I was doing right. That's why there's going to be a fourth playthrough of it, of trying to get the 2 crystals that I need were in Pandemonium, when I could have gotten them a long time ago. So, but I can get them, that'll give me 40. And then there's 2 more that I can get in the fourth playthrough, but I could have gotten before that. So, wasn't thinking right. The expert trials do come back in every walkthrough. You have to do certain expert trials to unlock certain areas so you can get the Lassie crystals. So, yeah. That's why they reopen every walkthrough that you do. So there's certain ones that I have to do to get to that. And during the fourth playthrough, we are going to go over the last 6 expert trials. The Tower of Agato, if I'm saying the name correct. We are doing that one. I found out a little bit more about it. Each area, there's a safe haven. In the first area, there's a safe haven. Every even number up to floor 8, except for floor 8, 2, 4, and 6 have 100 enemies that you got to fight in each of those floors. That's tough. Well, there's actually no, I'm sorry, there are 14 levels. And on the even ones, 2 through 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 have 100 enemies each in each of those levels. And they're all on level 99. The final boss on the 14th floor is the Cosmic Marlboro. It's on level 128. It is a super boss of that. There's like 3 super bosses in this game. Well, I don't count Gilgamesh as a super boss, but Nox S, I can't say the darn thing. You know, the bug-like creature, dragon thingy, black thingy hovering up in the sky. Might as well call it Beelzebub, but it doesn't look like a bee, but whatever. Whatever. It's a thing up in the sky. I'll just call it Fred. How about that? So Fred's up there in the sky, and after 500 Phantoma you drain from your enemies, he reappears in the sky. So I'm trying to get him to reappear again, because this is why. If you could look at on the bottom left of my screen on the gil, I have 14 million gil. There's another glitch in the game to where you take your airship, fly it up in the sky, and you put the target on him, and when it flashes red, you gotta hold down the L1 button for the brake. While you're holding down the L1 button, you hit the R1 button and the square button furiously, unless you don't have a turbo controller, and you'll get a gil counter that'll come up on the screen, and it goes from ×1 up to ×256. You keep pressing that button over and over and over again until you accumulate 99,999,999. That's the max amount of gil in this game, which takes about 10 minutes. And maybe less. And I've accumulated 16 million. I've already lost 2 million. Now, the big reason why I'm trying to accumulate gil is the 43 l'Cie crystals. Supposedly, if you take it to a Losorian, if I'm saying the name right, like Gilgamesh, his partner, he's in a town. You give it to all 43 crystals to him, and he opens up this night bazaar, which has the most powerful accessories in the game, and that could literally break the game. So the only question I have for that is, why wait to the end of the game to give us this stuff? The game's already over. And one of those crystals is in the Tower of Ago. It's up on the floor 8. I'm like, what's the sense of even getting it when you're about that close to even beating the tower? I don't get it. Why wait this late? It doesn't make sense to give us the most powerful weapons, not weapons, but accessories in the game and items in the game. I don't know. But anyway, that's that. So you accumulate all these l'Cie crystals and all that. And I tried Gilgamesh, the 4-armed Gilgamesh in one of the portals. There's 4 different areas that you'll open up the portal at. As your old Losoria area, Innsmouth region on the coast, and there's one other area. There's 4 different areas where he'll show up, and I can't remember beside of me what was that last area. He will end up in, if I can find, I'm going to look up strategy here. I'm trying to remember stuff as I go along here so I won't even have to look this stuff up. Probably not going to like the Tower of Iago, but it's going to be bad anyway, I think. Oh yeah, one other area is the Rilaki Providence. I wish I knew how to say these names right. But that's another area where Gilgamesh will show up at. And you get the most powerful weapons in the game. The only issue with that is that Gilgamesh will randomly select one of your 14 players, go into it and fight them. And unfortunately, one of them is Rem. I am nowhere near able to control her as much as I control these other characters. I mean, you get like 2 hits in with Rem, then she tries to back away, but every time she tries to back away, she gets hit. I'm not very good at controlling her. Trey is slow with the bow. I can't seem to get him going. Cater, I could probably try with the magical pistol, but I tried that in the simulation battles. Couldn't get it going. It's just a random chance that he'll use one of my higher up characters so I can battle. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Gilgamesh or not. I am going to do Fred. I promise you guys that I will do Fred once I get it going. Alright. Items. I wanted to show you some of the items, little tasks that I've done in the game. Let's see. Which... I know there's one thing in the game that I did get, item-wise. Ultima Ground Zero is where you find one of those other l'Cie crystals. And there's a whole bunch of enemies that are on level 72. And they're not that hard. They could be... There are a bunch of flans, I think, that was in there, and some bowlers that were in there. And, well, if you go through the cave, you'll find the mobilization strategy. That's a document. I think you returned that as a quest. Also, the Lorsirian Diary. Recommend level 72 for that one big guy that he wants. You get a particularly good item, but I have to wait till I get back to Chapter 7. The voyage log is not in the Silent Key. No. This one in particular was at Mount Jubana. It's a volcano area. And not very strong enemies there. I think it's on level 62, I think. And you find the voyage log in that area. Before I get to the crystals, I wanted to show you items. The Grand Bangle. I finally got that. When you're supposed to kill that Iron Giant in the Azure region, remember I couldn't find her, like where she went? It's because I completed the chapter and that's why she disappeared. So, but I went back and got it, and it doubles your max HP, 100%. So, like, for instance, he's got 2431, you get 4800. So, pretty good, don't you think? The Regal Crown I also picked up. It doubles your max MP, just like double HP, but increases your magic by 40. That's another good accessory if you're using magic. I went ahead and purchased a couple more gold bangles, because, like I said, I love gold bangles. This one here I picked up, I think was in the volcano. I like the defense magic but 50, but I don't like when it reduces your MP by 40. That one will be sold pretty good. The Diamond Shield increases your ballistic and impact resistance by 40. In other words, the bazooka type enemies that use ballistic type rounds shorten the damage. Impact resistance is people with regular guns. That, well, no, I'll take that back. I think that's more like impact is bazooka type enemies, missile type enemies for ballistic, I think. Piercing is guns. So, yeah. And cleave damage is that if some of the enemies have got swords on them and they hit you, slice you, whatever, that's cleave damage. That's the Guardian armor that I can put on for that one crazy dude if I ever fight him again. The Gemini ring. I thought this would be a good ring. Well, it increases fire and lightning resistance by 25 and prevents burn and shock. Woohoo. I mean, that's okay. It's not the best thing in the world. What else did I get? Safety bit prevents death. That would be a good one to have. Topaz shield. There was another one that I got. Unusual artifact. That's pretty good. That's mainly it on that. Okay, now for the Lassie crystals. As you can see, I've got a lot of crystals. Some of you have already been through this walkthrough, and you've seen people get crystals all the time. So I'm just going to go in a short version of how I got them. The M crystal, which I can't pronounce its name, and I'm going to. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 17 areas where you have to do tasks in towns. And this is what you get on the first 17 of them. The first one is at the end of is at the beginning of chapter 2 when you take that one town, Matague, over. You'll get a Lassie crystal from there. You got to do some work to get that one. The next one, the K crystal, is on the ground in the town of Corsi. The UU crystal is in Rumbum region, in Aquavi. This next one, Lazuna crystal, if I'm pronouncing the name right, is in the Togrith region in Kazaa. You got to do a task to get that. Yuka's crystals in the North Togrith region. Go to Mygo. You'll do a quest for that. The Shemet crystal, just talk to the NPCs in that area. They're self-explanatory. You can get them easily. There's a crystal in an Isaiah. This one right here, Shamhat. The one that begins with the letter M. This one took me a while to figure it out, but it's in Roko in the Isa region. Canis crystal is in the Ebon region in the town of Togrith. This next one, this one is in the Monroe region. In the town of Marol in Isa region. This next one is in Semente, the town of Semente. You'll find out when you get there. It's in the Semente region in Semente. Or is it in Monroe? There's a Semente. I'm trying to remember which one, how that works. Augusta is in Rojana. Just go to the Rosana region. You have to do a task before you could start doing the crystal. Same thing with this one. This crystal is found in Ramada, in Roshana Providence. This one here is in the town of Boz, West Nazir district. So find that one. This one here is in Shakara in the Rilaki Province. This one right here is annoying. It's in the town of Rickety. There's a priest at the very end. You have to donate 100 gil 10 times before she can give you the crystal. You got to come in and out, in and out, in and out. The trick of it is that the gate wouldn't come down yet. You stand behind in the very back and wait 5 seconds. The gate will drop. Then you go back and donate 100 gil. Repeat the process 10 times and you get that crystal. This one I hated. This one right here. There's a task that you got to do first before anything can happen. You got to kill 99 dragons. That took me 40 minutes to an hour just to kill dragons. Just to get a freaking crystal. That makes sense. It's in the Dragon Sanctuary in the town of Minter. Once you defeat 99, go back out on the screen, wait till the area turns fog again, go back in the area, and there's 2 tomeberries. I don't know which tomeberry it is, but one of you talk to one of them, it gives you this crystal. This crystal is in the town of Azure. Complete the task first before you do this one. Alright, now this is where they are in dungeons. Ultima Ground Zero is the name of the dungeon. That's on level 72. It's in the old Lorica region. The volcano area, Mount Jabina, is in the Jabina region. You'll find that in the dungeon. Bethnell Caverns, when you fight the Bahamut. It's in the Monroe region. You'll take care of that easily. Found in the cockpit of Setzer and Silent Key. That was one of the very few crystals I found first. Yugningo, I haven't found this one yet. You have to do the Colonel's Faith expert trial, but you got to get through 2 or 3 of them before you can do Colonel's Faith. It's in Chapter 7, so you got to wait on it. I haven't got that one yet. Alright, the next ones are in maps. This one's in the desert. The Barith Desert. Just look around. You'll fight sandworms along the way. They're not that powerful. I've actually fought them. They're huge. You fight 2 of them at once, but not too bad. Nimrod's Crystal is in the Valley of the Monsters. This is the one I was talking about. You're going to fight Marlboros. You're going to fight tiny little creatures that look like Mangoras. They're a lot tougher. You're going to fight not just a Marlboro, but a great Marlboro. You're going to fight Bolyars, the flying creatures. I really don't want to get into it. It was a hard quest, but I got it. This next one is over by the Innsmouth coast, in the Innsmouth region. It's actually in the Innsmouth coast, not off on the grass. It's actually in the coast. You fight this turtle. It's on level 51, not a problem. The Relic Terminal in the Desert House in the old Lorica region. This one. You'll get that one easily. This one is on the map. Northern Valley, you need Setzer's airship to get that one. That's over by where the Valley of Monsters were at. This one is in the Jubinan region. Just walk around until you find it. Vesta Crystal is obtained at the first end of chapter 7 when you go through that long snake way to get to the very end where the castle's at. Before you get in the castle, that's where that crystal's at. This one here is in the southwest corner of the Ezer district on a map. Theo Crystal is near the western tip of the large crevice in Cementi district. This one is in the Isa region on top of a structure, the southwest structure. Just when you go to your map, you hit the option button to go to map, hit map variants. Well, no, you don't do that. Hit your your spacebar button, and it opens up the map for that particular region. And just look around, and you'll find stuff on there. Argagina Crystal is in the Rickety Providence on the shoreline. This crystal is found in the West Nesser district. This next one I did not get yet because you have to do it. It's in the second part of chapter 7, but it takes you to the East Nesser district. But first you've got to do one of the expert trials, I believe, before you can do this one. Let's see, which one was I doing? This one here. is in the northern tip of the Ebon region. This one here is obtained in the Rosna province. This one here is obtained in the Ismouth region, again on a beach. This one is in the Monroe region, on the ground west of the Bethnal Caverns. Don't go in it. It's in there. And then finally, this one right here is found in the Old Lorica region and north of the Desert House. And plus there's two more, Rem's Crystal and Machina's Crystal. That's when you go to Pandora, go to Area 34, where they're at, the crystals, they're lying down right next to them. So that's all 43 crystals. I am going to get all of them, and it won't be until the next playthrough before I do it. This is the end of the third playthrough. I've only got 1 day and 12 hours left, so I'm just going to beat the game again, come back. I will meet you in Chapter 7 to start the expert trials next time on Final Fantasy Type 0. This is Sonic Emerald saying goodbye and see you on the flip side.